but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
From Auto Club Speedway, the Racers Elite Cup Series is ready to get it on here in the regular season finale as we get ready to head into this winter's playoffs. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast Booth. With me tonight, Dave Riegel is now alongside making his return to the broadcast booth, Sam Frazier, as he slides in here alongside of me. Folks, welcome everybody in. We want to thank you for welcoming us into your homes, onto your phones, wherever you may be and however you may be listening, because we'll be with you every step of the way. From the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Sam, here we are back together again, and it has been a long time, my friend, since you slid through.
Yeah, honestly, I told them, I was like, well, if I come back, I want my first time back to be with Dave, or we don't have a deal. And they were like, oh, that's perfect. So here I am. So it's good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to be back indeed, as, of course, we're already getting prepared to grid up here, as it looks like John Ross has gone fast time tonight. Let's get that starting lineup ready to rock and roll as we make that qualifying finish. Here it is. John Ross, he's going to sit on the pole position tonight. Let's get some of this music turned down, that pesky, exciting music. He's going to be alongside Brandon Honeycutt from DEI. Of course, then in row 2 is going to be Truth Hoke and Troy Thomas. Lee Campbell and Shay Cox hold things together in row number 3, while row 4 is Kirby Wainscott and Diego Rodriguez. Row number 5 and rounding out your starting top 10 is Aaron Marquis and Alex Teft. Row 6 is Leroy Koblenz and Kensley Smith in the number 15 Chevrolet Camaro. Then we go on here into row number 7. It's Andrew Teft and Dennis Kane with Ed Jurgen and Curtis Ecker in row number 8. Bill Skinner, he's going to be on the inside of row number 9 alongside our very own Alan Bergen, who has gone from the broadcast booth down to the racetrack. Can't wait to see if he's going to win his own Alan Bergen Boneheaded Move of the Race Award tonight, while Rob Yost and Eric Dodd hold it together in row number 20. And missing the start tonight going to be Nicholas Falsetta. So 20 drivers scheduled to take the green flag tonight. And Sam, listen, these guys are ready to rock and roll, and I think so are we.
Oh yeah, they definitely are ready to rock and roll. However, our very own Alan Bergen, I'm personally cheering for him to at least not crash in this race. It'd be a huge milestone achievement if he could, finish the race and even finish in the top 20. There's only 20 starters, so hopefully he doesn't DNF or even DNS. Never know.
Well, everybody making their way out onto the racetrack now. John Ross with a connection issue. That's going to be a little scary here as he won last week. And, these drivers that have been, piling through the season. I mean, John Ross has 4 wins this year. Brandon Honeycutt has 2. And quite frankly, they're the only 2 winners we've had. Kind of interesting. But last week at Phoenix, John Ross picks up the win. He went back-to-back after his win at Homestead, Miami. And right now, the iRacing.com pace car lights are out. And as we work our way into turn number 3, drivers now checking one final time, making sure that they've got those gloves all tied down, making sure that everything is just the way it needs to be in these race cars because they've got a long night tonight. But if anything is an indicator in this league is incredible when it comes to competition and doing it safely as everybody 2x2, Noah's Ark style. And if you need an Ark, Noah guy. As the iRacing.com pace car gets ready to peel on down pit road, the only thing that's left to do is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your honey buns, call a friend, and settle in. Race fans, it's show time!
Yeah, John Ross with a good start there, already kind of starting to pull away. However, I know this pack is going to catch up to him, especially that bottom line, high line, trying to figure it out themselves, at least in the middle of the high line. Who we got here? We got Brandon Honeycutt in that number 13 car on the outside. Inside of him is Truth Hoke. And these two are going to maybe work together and come up with a plan to come catch John Ross because he's already taking off. Dave, he's already taking off.
Yeah, now we can see Brandon Honeycutt here to the high side of Truth Hoke now. So as the 13 and the double nickel go side by side, we see that 3-piece of Troy Thomas working the high side. He's just over top of the 60 of Lee Campbell. So a little 4-car breakaway in a battle for second position. We look deeper back here in the field, and a little 5-car battle here for 6th position as they're nearly 3 wide coming through the front stretch as we haul it down off the back stretch. Here we go one more time, and wow, Diego Rodriguez is loose as a goose here in the middle of the pack.
I don't know who brought out the Domino's car, but I really like that paint scheme. Someone else also has a overstock paint scheme. So this is my segment right here. I just like looking through the field, see who has what paint scheme. You got Martin Truex, a throwback tribute right there in that 15. Not exactly sure what it's Sim Motion on that 42. Leroy, how do you say that, Dave?
Koblenz.
Koblenz.
That's the number 42 Sim Motion machine. And Leroy. There's Leroy.
Yeah, I've been out for so long. Half of these names I don't even recognize.
Well, Ed Jurgen driving the Gherkin machine here in the number 92. He's going to go here just behind the 3 of Troy Thomas. Now, as we go on board here with Jurgen, we're going to start to see him drift up the racetrack. He's trying to use as much of this thing as he can as we've gotten underway. Lap number 4 of 80, and John Ross just laid down fast time. He is in nothing but clean air. We can see him right off the nose here of the 92. We're going to go on board now with Brandon Honeycutt as he is just behind Truth Hoke in the double nickel. Now, Brandon Honeycutt is, of course, one of the only 2 drivers, aside from John Ross, who has picked up a win this season. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's got it tonight for this one.
Why you say that? What makes you think that?
Because he's just a little bit too deep in the field. I mean, you know, seeing what Brandon has done this season in this league, he's usually a lot higher. I'm not sure if, you know, either the racetrack or the setup as they go 3 wide, put the 60 of Lee Campbell, the meat in that sandwich, the 41 of Aaron Marquis on the high side. We could call him Aaron Marquis DeWalt. Huh. Like the Marquis de Lafayette. You know, we were just, you know.
It works, but does it? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know anybody named Walt. Actually, no, I lie. I do know a guy named Walt. He works at Mavis Discount Tire over on Germantown Pike in East Northern, PA. Go see him up at Walt.
That number 92 of Ed Jurgen has Jurgens on the side of his car. It's just paint scheme. I don't know. Is that a business or what?
Yeah, that's Jurgen's Lawn Care.
Oh, really?
He cares for lawns.
Where are they based out of?
What do I look like? Google? You're sitting in front of a $3,000 rocket launcher.
Dave. And besides, you said he cares about lawns. So what? Does he tuck them into bed at night?
He tucks them in at night. He gives them a little bit of water in the morning. If they need a haircut, he gives them a haircut. Just remember, it does grow back.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point.
He cares for grass, is what he does. I care for grass too.
Do you though?
Does anybody
even have grass in your front lawn?
No, my front lawn looks like a disaster because we've had a drought here on the East Coast.
That's bizarre. I've had nothing but rain for like the last 5 days.
Well, we saw rain once in the last 6 weeks.
Interesting. That's pretty bad.
I'm guessing it was a government conspiracy. Just an assumption. Kenzie Smith just laid down fast time at 40.02. Drivers still getting faster tonight as we take a quick look here at our track conditions on the right-hand side of your screen. 70 degrees in the stands, 73 degrees the asphalt temperature. So this thing has more grip in it than fresh Velcro.
I will say, it may have gripped now, but as these tires fall off, people are going to be slipping and sliding like it's a slip and slide at a 5-year-old's birthday party. The only reason why I know that is because I lost a bet. The only reason why I know this is because I lost a bet and had to do like a 200-lap race here.
Hey.
It was not a fun day.
That's an awful bet. Next time, why don't you lose the bet and be offered, like, I think I would have been better off if it would have been like, put your face in a wood chipper. 200 laps here is a long time.
Yeah, and the tire fall off is insane, especially if you don't have any experience at this track.
Well, tire fall off, not a factor for many of these drivers. In fact, Shay Cox just laid down a 40.02. A 40.19 for Brandon Honeycutt. That's his fastest lap of the race. And Ed Jurgen now being harassed by Aaron DeWalt. Aaron Marquis DeWalt.
Now you're just doing it on purpose.
Well, yeah. Well, now I've got to. It's going to be a thing. That's how you make a thing. You make it a thing. Curtis.
Okay.
It's just how I don't make the rules. It's just the way that it is.
Well, I do make the rules, and I say stop trying to enforce rules that I didn't make.
I'm just enforcing future rules that have not been assessed by the governing body of sim racing media.
Fair enough.
There's 3 votes. Alan Bergen's one of them. Son of a...
Well, did he vote yes or no?
He voted yes.
I don't believe him. He's lying. Anyways,
Side bet.
I wonder how he voted if he's driving right now. That should not be possible. He does not have...
To be fair...
That's too far.
No, let me say this. Alan Bergen is... Let's go to him. First, he's laps down.
Yeah,
Alan,
because he had like connection issues at literally as soon as the green flag dropped.
Poor Alan. You know what? Alan Bergen, I will say this for the young man here out of St. Louis, Missouri. I say young man, I think he's just about the same age as me, if not older.
Might be older.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Looks like 20 years older than you when you were old.
He's got a nice Benjamin Franklin look going. Anyway, I just want to say that Alan Bergen is probably the hardest working man at Sim Racing Media. This man, no matter when you go on to, like if you go on Discord because you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you had to poop, he's on there. You'll see him just sitting in a voice chat waiting for somebody to pop in and say hello. One day I happen to be, just sitting here playing a game on the old PC, and I thought I'm just going to sit in the hangout and see how long it took for Alan to come in. Swear to God, it was less than 5 minutes. And you know what? When you live in a world like we do, and everybody's separated by all kinds of distance and time. I mean, obviously you and I are separated by a lot of distance and time, but sometimes it's nice just to kind of walk into the proverbial digital living room and find your buddy sitting there on the couch.
Yeah, the internet living room's the only time I wouldn't be startled if somebody was in the living room,
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that if I walked into my living room and you were just sitting here, naked in a beanbag chair eating Cheetos, I'd be a little disturbed at first. And then I'd ask where my bag of Cheetos is.
I would have to have, I'd have to be submitted to a psych ward if it was the other way around, Dave.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'd probably never get over it, ever. Ugh.
I mean, it's quite a sight.
Ugh.
Don't hate, appreciate.
Yeah, if you're an animal.
Well, taking a look here at Truth Hope in the 55, he's just over top of the 60 of Lee Campbell. By the way, that is the overstock paint scheme you spoke of earlier.
Yeah. I thought that was unique for iRacing standards, at least.
Does anybody use overstock anymore? Just asking.
I'm not sure. That's why I was saying. I was like, why is there overstock here?
Yeah. Now I said something earlier, and Brandon Honeycutt has now slowed down and dropped himself into 13th position. He started on the front row, and here he is. So there may be something wrong with the 13. I'm not used to seeing him this deep in the field. Something tells me there's either something wrong with him, with the mesh between the setup and his driving style. I mean, and folks, you have to understand, these are fixed setups. Every car is set up exactly the same. The chassis is aligned the same way. The only thing that's different is some creature comforts like brake bias and turning ratio. That's about it. And, quite frankly, at this point, it looks like maybe Honeycutt's not having a great night in this particular setup.
Dave, you give me a second. I'm trying to experiment with something because I think I know what's wrong with my setup here. So just give me a few seconds.
While we wait for a few seconds, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight here on Sim Racing Media. Welcome you all into the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. Of course, currently I'm having a little bit of a thing here, Sam, with my microphone. Shure, which of course is the manufacturer of my microphone, changed the software and has made things substantially different here in the broadcast booth, and I don't know if I'm a big fan of it yet. As we are single file for a lot of the field, 17 laps in the books, but this little gaggle of cars here has decided they don't want to be single file. Now, Troy Thomas starting to draft up behind the double nickel. He's going to consider maybe even taking it 3 wide. He thinks otherwise and allows the 55 of Truth Hoke to drift up the racetrack as he's just in front of the 19 of Curtis Ecker. We look back here to the 15 of Kensley Smith while we go on board. And Kensley Smith is now drafting himself right up to the rear of Diego Rodriguez. It's definitely not side drafting. And speaking of side drafting, a near disaster as we're going to go on board with Troy Thomas. He almost just got wiped out by a collision between the 60 and the 55. They made contact, kept it going straight, and we continue here on lap number 18 of 80 at Auto Club Speedway. Dave Regal and Sam Frazier with you here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. I want to thank you for tuning in and welcoming us into your homes and onto your phones. Kensley Smith back here in the 15. Look at this knot of cars. If there's going to be a problem, this is where it's going to originate. Kensley Smith in the Tracker Bass Pro Shops number 15. He's now underneath the double nickel of Truth Hoke, and they're going to go side by side for the time being. We look just a little bit further above, and here's Lee Campbell in the 60. While Diego drops right down in front of the 60, it's almost like he's trying to hold back the 60 and the 55 all in one swoop. He may have pulled this one off, as now he gets the run that he needs to to scurry away from those two, and now puts Aaron Marquis in the crosshairs. We look back here from Aaron Marquis out of Suffield. Lord only knows I'm about to be told that that's pronounced Suffield. Are you there, Sam, or have you just fallen off the planet? We're going to go with fall off the planet. Taking a look here at Curtis Ecker in the 19, that Jack Daniels old number 7 machine. I'll tell you what, as I watch him in that Jack Daniels machine, I'm getting a little thirsty for my friend from Lynchburg, Tennessee, old number 7. Hearing you thought it was Mickey Mantle.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I was just checking. My mic was completely backwards, and I did not realize it. So I should sound way better now. Because I was looking at it, I was like, it's been a while since I put this up. It just does not look right. And sure enough, it was on completely backwards. How that happened, I have no idea.
Now, do we have to play the race backwards like this is the White Album from the Beatles?
Yes. Just for my convenience, though.
Fair enough. Now, I was lamenting earlier a moment ago that Shure updated their software, and I feel like it has drastically changed the way that my microphone operates and sounds. It's kind of an interesting. I'm just getting it here in my monitor. It's a very interesting experience right now.
What do you mean?
It's very deep, and everything is way down here. And if I talk too loud, it starts to clip me. I don't know what to do.
Interesting.
Gotta love to find people over at Shure.
Yeah, Curtis Ecker is like drifting around this track. His back end's getting like stupid loose in the turns, like going into the turns. Midway, he kind of catches it, and then it just ruins his momentum.
The 15 of Kensley Smith. He goes the middle here between Curtis Ecker and the 4 of Dennis Kane.
This could end bad. It doesn't end bad.
Oh, God. Look at him getting out of disaster. You know what? I think this is the only league that we call here on Sim Racing Media that I would fully trust going 3 wide for multiple laps.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who, but there's some other leagues that we do commentate and produce. I'm like, whenever they do go 3 wide, I just have to stop talking and hold my breath. You never know what's going to happen. If they go 4 wide, guaranteed crash.
Oh, every time. Hi, welcome to Talladega. We thought we'd try 4 wide at Martinsville. Didn't work out. Couldn't figure out why.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's like watching a super speedway only league try like Bristol.
Oh, those are so fun.
It's so funny.
As we go under the first caution, we were talking about something bad perhaps happening, and here it is breaking out. We go under the first caution here at lap number 26. We'll probably see some wholesale pit stops. Let's take a quick peek and see what happened with Cole Blentz here in the 42. Oh, Jesus.
It had to be the 19 involved as well. Come on.
I'd be more concerned if the 19 wasn't involved. Let's take another look.
I wonder how this happened. How did this happen? How did they end up in this situation?
Oh, well, the 19 was involved, but basically the 3 checked up. The 42 didn't see it. Let's see if we can maybe get this right from the nose. Let's take a look again here. That's exactly what happened.
A spin.
The 3 checked up, and the 19 just got into the 42. And the 19 could never have known what was happening in front of him like that.
It happens. But
First time John Ross has seen anybody else out on the
blame.
racetrack.
Oh, yeah. I actually completely forgot he was leading. I thought it was Jurgen this whole time. Oh. I'm about to turn the change my audio to where I can hear them talk, the drivers talk. I'm kinda curious
I
what
just
they're
heard
saying.
something bleed in. It almost sounded like there was something else in my house.
Yeah, I heard it actually bleeding through over Discord too. So
Oh, well, then maybe it was something else. I got scared.
no, that's even scarier.
I just got scared to death. Because if somebody else is in my house, this may be my last broadcast. I may be dead.
That would not be good because you're actually like a good broadcaster. So,
Oh.
not saying the other ones are, but like, you know what I mean.
But what you're saying is you'd be upset.
Yeah,
I
you're like my
appreciate
personal favorite.
My man. At least I'm somebody's favorite, you know?
Angel and Jordan are competing for second place.
You know what's cool? And I know that you weren't in Florida with us, and I'm not going to hold that against you. By the way, I know you like your cheese drippy.
Oh, you saw?
I don't know.
Also
who
see my wife
Queen.
in the comments.
Oh,
too.
that's your wife?
Yes, my wife.
All right. We will behave and keep it PG.
Where are they arguing?
She says
over
to
in
tread carefully, or I'll wind up with you with a 2-hour conversation about mics and you just yapping. You yap away, pal.
Yeah, you're like the only one out of all the producers that'll just let me yap. I start talking too much. Not gonna say who, but fellow producer, he just shuts me down every time. It's like, dude, come on! I'm trying to provide extra entertainment. You got the on-track entertainment, you got the over-the-mic entertainment. You know.
DeMoney's a yes. DeMoney is a yes. My man.
I don't believe him either. They're all lying.
Nah, DeMoney's got it.
Yeah.
He was being beckoned home to Wyoming from Florida, and it was going to happen. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a very addicting thing. See what I did there?
Okay, let's not push it too hard over the broadcast.
The new question here at Sim Racing Media is, do you even want a job?
Yeah. Do you guys even want a job?
It was, you know what? That moment will live on in infamy here at Sim Racing Media. Listen, man, I wish that you would have been in Florida with us. It was,
Yeah, how did that happen? You gotta tell a story.
how did what? Oh, that?
Yeah,
There
how'd
was
that
just,
come up?
it was just,
honestly.
it was just John right out the side of his neck. While Jordan was in the back of the minivan, yours truly at the wheel. Nobody wants me to drive on the racetrack, but God damn it, there we were, tooling all around the Sunshine State with me at the wheel. And to be fair, I'm better in real life than I am on the racetrack. Mostly because there's no fast repairs.
Yeah.
But it was just such an organic thing. And John just turned around and just asks the question, and the van goes silent. And it was like, did he really just ask? And it was perfect. It was beautiful. The whole weekend, you know what? If I was the, let's just say maybe a particular world leader elect.
Cutting you off.
John Ross takes the green flag. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ross taking over. Rodriguez right behind him. Ed Jurgen. Yeah, Jurgen's gonna have Diego Rodriguez slot in front of him. And they're gonna. This started to turn into chase down John Ross. So you can, at this point, it might be just see who can out strategize him on pit stops. I think at this rate.
Well, 29 laps in the books. They're gonna have to make one more stop. fairly certain it's going to be one more stop.
I'm gonna message some random midfield driver and just be like, $1,000. You turn around and crash the entire field.
I don't know why you're hoping for this.
Well, I'm not hoping for. I'm saying like I'm gonna offer that amount of money to a random midfield driver to do that.
Fair enough. Speaking of midfield drivers, let's take a look here at the double nickel of Truth Hoke, just over top of the 60 of Lee Campbell. Now, Lee Campbell gets a run coming out of 2 and goes down the back chute, but getting a little bit of, side draft here is Truth Hoke. You can see some of the ways that these cars are bouncing down the backstretch. This place is not forgiving. If you didn't pee before you left your car hauler earlier, oh no! There goes, here goes Truth Hoke doing a little bit of landscaping.
You can hold it. You can hold it. He held it.
Oh, hell did he did. That's going to be
really
your
quick.
That's going to be your Code Brown moment of the night. Don't stain your ride, use Tide.
Really quick though. You said this place is not forgiving. I think you want to say this place was not forgiving. This place does not exist anymore.
That's
IRL.
True. That's
on
true.
iRacing, we still got it, of course. But in real life, they massacred this place, disrespected it.
You know what? I think that's one of the things I love most about iRacing. That iRacing can make, some of our tracks literally immortal. And it's also resurrected some of our others.
Oh, yeah. Without iRacing, I'm pretty sure Rockingham would stay dead, not gonna lie.
Did The Rock
Same
make
thing
it to the
with,
schedule yet or no?
For something, I think maybe Truck Series, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I'm just happy it's back for stock car stuff, because I think IndyCar is also looking at it as well.
32 laps in the books. We just saw Truth Hoke nearly bite the big one, but John Ross now gapping the field by about 0.6 of a second, while Ed Jurgen just laid fast time, and now catching up to him by 0.08 of a second is Shay Cox. It went from 40 seconds flat to Shay Cox at 39.92 seconds. Watch the 7 roll as he's got that quick trip Ford Mustang cranked up to beyond crazy. 192, 200 going into turn number 3. Wow.
Yes, QT versus Domino's. Both of those places have overpriced pizza.
Quick Trip has.
Yeah, these two
pizza?
are. 30 years I lived off of QT pizza for breakfast because it was like the only thing that they would have hot in stock. So.
I've only been to a Quick Trip like once.
Highly recommend the place. Not really the pizza though. Get anything but the pizza.
We were in a Circle K down in the Florida Keys. Not that I want to drop that we were in the Florida Keys or anything, but we were in the Florida Keys.
You want to play this game? I'm about to move to Hawaii like permanently
I'm
in
so
like
excited
2 weeks. So yeah, you guys are gonna be like in 40 feet of snow, and then I'm gonna be like melting essentially.
I mean,
caution's out for some reason.
Caution out for some reason. Excellent analysis by my booth partner. This may also be Leroy Koblenz. Let's watch the 42.
You automatically assume.
It's a pretty good assumption. A little bit of a rub of the wall. Oh!
83.
My.
Red Bull car.
83 is probably what brought it out, but it didn't slow down enough to register as having crashed.
I mean, they didn't really crash. They hit each other. Well,
they did hit each other. Let's watch this from the perspective of the 83.
No, they did not hit each other. I'm pretty sure it's Koblenz bounced off the wall into him. Oh, no, he was kind of sliding. I don't know. Look, 2 cars went sideways. System got confused and scared. So it panicked and threw caution out.
It definitely got scared.
iRacing's weird when it comes to that. Like, if there's a car sideways, it's automatic caution. NASCAR is the same way.
It's almost like they're concerned about safety or something. While we get concerned about safety here, just as we were approaching the halfway point, we're going to step aside and pay some bills here on Sim Racing Media. I'm Dave Regal. He's Sam Frazier, and this is the Racers Elite Cup Series.
get caught defend. He's got the outside line for the second spot, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom. Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pace car lights are off. Diego Rodriguez going to lead us out here. Kensley Smith going to be right beside him. That number 21 Domino's Ford. Very, very beautiful paint scheme, if I'm being honest.
I don't know where this Domino's paint scheme you have is.
Yeah, I don't. Is it showing Domino's on the?
No, I
look,
refresh the paints right before we go live.
Yeah, no, mine is refreshed. So one of ours is incorrect. It might be you. I'm gonna say it's you that's wrong.
I mean, I refreshed
I
right
need
before
somebody-
we went. Okay, you know what? Call it. It's me. Whatever. It's me. We come out of turn number 4. The iRacing.com pace car dips on down pit road. Diego Rodriguez with control of the field. Rodriguez hits the Geico restart zone, drops the hammer, and off we go on lap number 38.
Yeah, Rodriguez starting to pull away, but I don't think Kensley Smith is going to let that happen.
I mean, the interesting thing here is that
stay on the outside.
our top 3 right now, Rodriguez, Smith, and Skinner. Skinner! They all last came down on lap number 26.
Whoa.
Everybody else.
Whoa. Ross.
What do you got?
Ross,
Oh, God.
What happened to Ross?
Oh, my God.
What happened? How did this happen?
How did this happen? How did this happen? I saw Ross start sliding everywhere. I'm like, there's no way. And then he started really sliding. I'm like, oh, it's happening.
Well, let's take a look. I'm betting nobody's going to be happy.
What happened? How did this happen? Did he bounce off the wall?
Oh,
Or he just
no.
get loose?
He got loose. He got bit by the cold tire bug.
Just a chain reaction. One car tries to avoid him, doesn't, or probably does, but then clips like 2 other cars at the same time, and it's just domino effect from there.
Well, fortunately, I believe they have 2 fast repairs in this league. Pretty sure it's 2. Could be 73, but I'm pretty sure it's 2.
73 fast repairs would make for a truly chaotic event.
You've never seen ISNF.
Oh no, I have seen ISNF. That's the league where I lost the Auto Club bet in.
Fair enough. Oh,
It
my
was
windscreen
either-
was all knocked off of my mic. Andrew Teft here in the number 98 Mac tonight. I'll tell you what. Do you remember when
tonight?
Do you remember when McDonald's started to stay open late?
Yeah, back in the good old days, back when Walmart was also 24 hours, just like the rest of the world.
You can't
At least the
tell
rest of
me.
the U.S.
you can't tell me that Walmart at 3 in the morning was not amazing.
Oh, it was. It was. But I'm going to make you feel old because, you know, I was able to start going out that late just like 2 years before they stopped going 24 hours. You went quiet trying to process that, ladies and gentlemen. I think I may have broke Dave.
I'm reading a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, Dave, I think your training paints might be incorrect. 'Cause I even restarted mine, made sure mine was updated.
Well, then let's just
And
go ahead here.
It's showing Domino's.
Well,
It's still showing Domino's.
let's go ahead here now. I'll take your word for it. We're gonna go up here to the high home camera, and we're gonna do the old Control R. And we'll refresh those paints.
Oh.
And now I can't get there.
It's coming back. Let's see.
Crap.
I still got Domino's. They all refreshed. It took all the paints away. They loaded up one by one.
Stand by. Here we go.
Driving me crazy, Dave.
Not really more a drive. It's more like a short walk.
I don't walk. I crawl. Sorry. You're crawling me crazy, Dave.
When I wear cufflinks on a shirt, I actually put curb feelers on there so that way if I fall over in the street, I can just find the edge.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm recycling paints and we're watching this in real time. Now, what car are you claiming it has Domino's?
Diego Rodriguez.
Nope. Still the Michigan Wolverines for me here.
Is he number 21 or 20?
20.
I'm seeing number 21 Domino's.
You have your custom paint schemes turned on. There's your answer.
Hold on.
Uncheck the box.
Let me check. Where's that at? Here, bring him back. Bring him back to green while I figure this out.
Yeah, I'll bring him back to green while you figure out your life. Diego Rodriguez going to hit the Geico restart zone. He drops the hammer, and off we go. Diego and Kensley Smith still opting not to come down pit road, even after seeing some of those new tires catch the cold tire bug. Now we've got drivers that have been on lap 26, 36, and 40. Let's take a look at that pit strategy. And folks, you can see that right here in the middle of your screen that some of these drivers have decided to, let's just say, back things down a little bit as far as conservation. But Diego Rodriguez, who, of course, all of you folks that listen to me every week happen to know him from Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series action and, of course, the Tuesday Night NASCAR Truck Series as he drives the Spirit Airlines Howdy Dave Regal truck. By the way, Sam, I don't know if you're aware, but that's how you get free airtime on Sim Racing Media. Paint the broadcaster's name on your truck.
Fair enough. I'll remember that next time when I am custom painting my own paint schemes. I actually don't know how to do that. Please do not come to me asking to custom paint anything for me because I have no idea how to do it.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it either. You know what I am good at?
Kensley Smith just bounced off the wall.
Yep. I am good at bouncing off the wall.
I'm pretty sure you are. You look like a bouncy ball anyways.
That's what I do. That's not a stomach, it's a bumper. 45 laps in the books here. Diego Rodriguez tonight in the Michigan Wolverines paint scheme. That Ford Mustang cranked up here as Bill Skinner in a midnight Budweiser paint scheme. And, you know, I had an epiphany the other day. I found out that Budweiser has a theme song.
What? Did they actually?
Yes. It's called Here Comes the King.
What?
Now, let me preface it with this. I follow the St. Louis Cardinals / St. Louis Blues organist on TikTok. And he was playing a song at a Cardinals game, and I thought that it was a really catchy tune, and I didn't understand where it came from. And then, of course, as I read in the information, I found out that it was called Here Comes the King, the Budweiser song, the King of Beers. Me, personally, I think that Budweiser is, well, urine in a bottle. But they have a catchy song. Look it up on YouTube. You'll thank me later.
I don't know if you were paying attention, but we almost just witnessed a death on track.
Strange.
Number
they're
7
virtual cars.
and number 19, like, cut across at the same time. Honestly, scared me. I thought they were crashing hard, but it was just really well timed.
Speaking of the 19, there he is sliding right in front of the 7, as you had previously mentioned. That's Curtis Ecker and Shay Cox. And now Ecker dives down to the low side of the racetrack, drifting just in front of the double nickel of Truth Hoke. And now Hoke drifts up. Driver's starting to have a little bit of trouble here holding the bottom line. And Shay Cox came down on lap number 36, while Truth Hoke was down on lap number 40. So 8 laps before these tires really stop holding the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, that's when we may have another caution, because somebody's going to try to slide up in front of somebody like they did, but get confused and go too early, try to correct, and they're going to have any grip to correct. They're going to smack into them, bounce off the outside wall. Both of them will. And we're going to have like 8 cars in the infield.
Ed Jurgen leads the way now. And, you know, for a long time, we were starting to see John Ross kind of step away from the rest of the field, but now he's been buried back here in 12th position. We see John Ross 3 wide, and he's being pushed along by Brandon Honeycutt. Now, here's the interesting thing, folks. Those are the only 2 drivers that have won any races. Honeycutt giving a shove to the 44, and now John Ross gets himself here just behind the 98 of Chief Cook and Bottle Washer, Andrew Teft, as Teft here in the Mac Tonight machine. Did you know, by the way, because we literally were talking about it in the shop this morning at work, that McDonald's only stopped smoking in their restaurants in 1994?
You serious? Actually pretty dope. Yeah, it probably was in some states, because, you know, that whole smoking in the restaurant law eventually came.
We have one here. Jordan Brockell is a no.
I mean, look at him. He sounds like he's 12. Looks like he's 50.
Listen, Jordan Brock, that's what I was starting to talk about earlier. One of the interesting things that you know, I think Florida offered. Oh, wow, look at this.
Look at
three-way
this.
battle. Would you look at that? A 3-way battle for the lead. Diego Rodriguez trying to hold off the 92 of Ed Jurgen and the 7 of Shay Cox. And Shay Cox has now turned it into a 4-way with Kensley Smith looking from the cuck chair on behind.
It's going to be a 5-way.
Is that even legal in this state? This is California.
I don't know.
I mean...
I don't think so, honestly. Well, I don't know. It's California. Anything goes, it seems, over there.
I mean, I know in Arkansas you can have a 5-way, but 2 of the people have to be cousins. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. We'll have to check in with John. No, we have to ask John because he's getting ready to move to Arkansas. He's going to have to be our Arkansas contact.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at the 19 bouncing around.
Well, they're all bouncing around, Dave.
Right now, Curtis Ecker, though, is holding on for dear life.
Oh, wow. This is going to get interesting right here. 19's going to try to slide in right beside the 7. These two have been at it aggressive the last few laps. Whoa, a little contact between the two. Nothing crazy. I thought it was going to be worse than it was. 19 sliding. What I tell you, I told you the 19 would start sliding eventually. 7's also starting to slide. Jurgen bounces off the outside wall. Rodriguez probably likes what he sees back there with everybody bouncing off each other and everything else. 19 has a lot of speed right now for some reason. I have no idea where that came from, but probably it's not going to end well if he doesn't back off just a little bit.
The 92 of Ed Jurgen, did you just see him fly out of turn 2?
Yeah.
He just whipped it. Do you remember, you know, the carnival ride, the whipper? I think that's what he just came out of that turn on.
Ecker takes the lead for now. Jurgen and Rodriguez are fighting. I think Rodriguez is starting to lose his tires because he's starting to fall back like crazy. Yeah, 15 of Smith is going to give Jurgen a massive boost to get in front of that number 20 or 21 Domino's or Michigan. I'm not really sure what it is. The Smith gets around him himself. Number 7 is going to be looking. That is, if that what car is that? Is that the number 4? Yeah,
Here
Dennis
comes the
Kane doesn't
king.
spoil his fun. 3 wide for the lead. Whoa, Jurgen!
Contact.
Jurgen touches the 19. He keeps it straight.
Wow.
That was cool. 3 wide again.
We now have basically a 6-way battle for the lead. Nearly making contact is the 20 and the 7.
This is iRacing.
This is great racing. It's not just iRacing. Look at the 15. All of a sudden, Kensley Smith becomes the meat in this sandwich, then goes immediately single file behind the 7 of Shea Cox. And as he is literally being arrow pushed down the track by the 92, he manages to get away from the nose of the 92. That loosens him up and allows him to get all the way down to the low side of the racetrack. He drifts up now on exit, and who was that? Diego coming down as well as Bill Skinner.
His tires are gone.
You think?
Skinner! Or something like that. I did it backwards.
Skinner? You gotta get like down here.
Oh.
Now we go back to a 3-way battle here for the lead. As it's going to be the 7, the 19, and the 92.
It's a 3-way in California.
Yeah, usually that's just a couch and a bottle of lotion.
See if Jurgen is... See what he does here. I'm curious to see what his next moves are. He has the opportunity to do something crazy. Will he take it? I know you see it, too. I know you see what I want him to do.
I mean, we all know what we... Whoa, boy.
Oh, this is going to get interesting.
Watch the 15, a little loose there, coming out of 2. And now he's decided to come in. He's the last of those lap 26 tires coming in. Now, the interesting thing there is that, you know, that's going to mean that Andrew Teft, who came in on lap number 40. Now, usually Teft is one of those tire-saving gurus, but I think he may have overbid himself here.
Hey, Ross is back. Ross is back. Ross is back.
Guess who's back? Back again. John Ross is back.
It's all fun and games, but you got to remember, the 7 and the 19 are up there, so, like, the entire field could get ended up taking out. They're not careful about these 2 cars. Nothing against them. I'm just saying. They've been kind of crazy tonight.
Just remember, it's all fun and games until someone busts a lug nut.
Oh, here we go. 19 gonna maybe try to make it 3 wide. For some reason, that's a really odd place to try to do that in.
Let's go on board here with the 19 and see what he's thinking. Maybe his vantage point down here on the racetrack is better than what ours is. As we spin him around, they're 3 wide behind him. There's the 44 of John Ross. They just blow through that little knot of cars. And now Ross gets over top of Dennis Kane, the 44 and the 4, now chasing down the 19 of Curtis Ecker.
Oh, look at that.
Almost 20 to go, Sam.
Oh, here we go. I knew this would happen too. I knew this. Why did I know this would happen?
Jesus.
I saw them coming close together. I saw them close together, and I was like, dude, they're going to hit each other. I was thinking it. I wanted to say it out loud, but I didn't want to jinx it.
The 19 just bought himself a section of wall. Let's take a look and see what happened, maybe from John Ross's perspective.
No, you see his car? He did not buy himself a section of wall. He donated his car to that section of the wall.
Oh.
I knew that would happen, too. I saw it, like, two turns before it happened. What did I tell you? Did I not tell you that he needed to be careful in the 19?
You did. You did.
Give me a medal. Alan or Dave.
If you ever call me Alan again, we're going to fight. I will get on a plane. I will come and find you. Oh my goodness! I wonder if I could do an Alan impression.
Please don't. Please spare the entire broadcast from that. Sorry, Alan.
Coors Banquet, ladies and gentlemen. Are you nuts? Oh, Honey Bun's checking in here. Literally, both of the ladies here checking in. They're not here for the race. They're here for the guys with the microphones.
Who's Lindsay, Dave?
Honey Buns.
Ah.
It's a whole thing. You'd have to actually pay attention to Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series action.
Well, you know.
Thanks for listening.
Sunday nights, you know, I'm usually I don't know what I'm doing on Sunday nights, honestly.
Obviously, you're not at church either.
Oh.
Heathen.
Yeah. How did these two end up in this situation right here?
I was just going to ask that question. I'm curious because things seem to have really calmed down atop the pile.
Yeah.
18 laps to go. Do you think you can make it on tires that were last changed on lap 36?
Well, Dave. You're probably. I already know you're gonna, or what kind of response you're gonna say to this, but you can definitely make it. Will you be in the same position that you were in before those 18 laps? No. But you can definitely make it. The only reason why is because you just have to not spin or hit the wall or crash. These tires don't explode in iRacing unless I'm not tracking something. You can definitely make it. You're just not going to have a fun time on track while you're, you know, driving.
Did you just nominate Alan for president in 2028?
Yeah, I did.
President of what?
The U.S. Think about it. It'd be funny.
You realize effectively he would be yours and John's boss?
Yeah, I know. That's why I would make it funny.
Great. You guys would be on the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Exactly.
Like a Joint Chiefs of Staff infection. To be fair, we've already got a television host nominated for Secretary of Defense. It really makes Alan being president not that far-fetched.
Whoa, 21's getting bold with that move. Or 20, I don't know. It's a car, all right? Whatever that car is. He wants his laps back.
Here it is. That's Diego Rodriguez doing Diego Rodriguez things.
Yeah, and the number 21 Dominoes.
It's the
Ford
number
Mustang.
20 Michigan Wolverines. You know, I'd love to talk to Alan right now. Wonder what he's thinking. Where's he at? There he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's out
just
here
by
lining
himself,
laps.
just driving.
He's just driving. That's my buddy.
He's not racing. He's
I
just
you know
driving.
what? I love this dude. I absolutely love this dude.
You can't hate him.
Let
You
me tell
really
you
can't.
the most Alan Bergen thing Alan Bergen could have done.
Oh, Lord.
Texts
I'm
John and I while we're at the racetrack in Miami to tell us what's going on at the racetrack that we're sitting in Miami.
There's no way. You're lying. You're actually lying.
Buddy.
You're lying.
No, he gave us a race update
Why
for the
you're
track
at
that
the
we were
race?
at. It was the most beautiful thing in the entire world. First off, you have to understand, I had the headphones on. I had rented the race radio for the weekend. And Alan, you know, was texting. Like, he made the car. In fact, I think the night of Do You Even Want a Job, I believe Alan called during that particular car ride. And it was like he was, because he was on the stereo in the car, it was like he was riding along with us. It almost felt like all I could picture was the Muppets in the Muppets, you know, the original
I'm
Muppet
actually
movie.
dying.
Like, you know, it was like Fozzie Bear, like waka waka.
Oh.
I loved it. Oh, jeez. Forgive me, folks. Cover your children's ears.
Wow. That's a massive penalty for Dave. Dave shall be executed in front of the old Myrtle Beach Speedway that doesn't exist anymore.
No, you know what that is right now? They're turning it into...
It's a parking lot.
It's a parking lot that they're turning into condos.
Yeah, no, this happened to like every racetrack they're killing off. It's gonna probably happen to...
I think I was only mad because they did it in Myrtle Beach. 12 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway with Truth Hoke, your new race leader.
But hear me out. If you go 1 hour to the west, you're gonna hit
2 hours.
Florence. 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour to Florence, 2 to Darlington.
So, controversially, I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for this, but I could understand why you'd be upset it's gone, but like, did we really need those two? Please don't kill me. It was just a joke. I swear I'm just joking. I wonder if he muted himself.
Wait, what?
Did you mute yourself?
Do I what?
Did you mute yourself?
No, yes,
like
I
on the
muted
broadcast?
myself. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yep. Anyway, looks like your wife is checking in with Lindsay over there.
Yeah, I'm glad Myrtle Beach Speedway's gone. It needed to go. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Know what? Please don't murder me. It was a joke.
Here's the thing. I wanted to go to Myrtle Beach Speedway in the worst way because I know that's where Dale Jr. got his very first stock car racing win. And I was so excited. And I put it into my GPS, drove across town from my mom's house, went past the outlets, I pulled in and realized I was at a parking lot. And my heart immediately sank right around my ankles.
I saw it right as they started the deconstruction of the place. Because me and my friend wanted just to go down to Myrtle Beach because, you know, we were bored. So we're like, let's just spend a weekend in Myrtle Beach. And I got lost because I missed an exit completely. It was kind of funny. And we're driving. I see a sign. And I see the logo. You know, it looks like that logo. I was like, there ain't no way. Sure enough. You know what was standing still? The grandstands were the only thing left.
Really?
I was like, bro. Very sad.
Yeah, I just...
Didn't even mean to find it. I just found it by accident because we were super lost because I accidentally basically fell asleep and wasn't paying attention.
Happens. I want to talk about a quick development that's happening here in the race. Troy Thomas here in the three-piece and some scrimp. He's out here right now with a 29-second lead over Diego Rodriguez. Now, Diego's closing fast, don't get me wrong. But there are 8 laps to go, and I'm going to start watching the time here and seeing how much Diego's closing in on him by, because something tells me Troy Thomas might have found the secret sauce as he's out here on 40-lap old tires.
Hey, look at the skill difference between the two SRM guys. You got Alan Bergen just like driving like a grandma on the track, and you got Troy Thomas driving like he's prime Jimmy Johnson.
You said Johnson.
You know what I mean, all right?
I know what you mean. Brandon Honeycutt just laid down a 40.12. He is marching to... Troy's going to come in. I really thought Troy was going to get it.
He probably has, like, no gas, if we're being fair.
Yeah, he's down there going...
Okay, maybe this is not prime Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson would have just held it open. Meanwhile, that's going to cycle Brandon Honeycutt up to the race lead. Andrew Teft's going to run in P2. Diego Rodriguez, Ed Jurgen, Kensley Smith, Kirby Wainscott. They're going to be your top 6. As we take a look back here, I don't know if Kensley Smith has enough. We're 7 laps to go. Honeycutt starting to gap Andrew Teft now by 0.6 of a second and then some.
This is good. This is good.
This is very good. This is interesting.
I have fan bias for Brandon Honeycutt, so
I have fan bias for Alan Bergen.
I don't know why, but that's cool. It's like being
Because
it's like being a Panthers fan in these days.
I mean, you know they exist, right?
No,
Can
I'm
I just
saying
say,
like
speaking of, we were just talking about Myrtle Beach a moment ago, and let me just bring this up. In Myrtle Beach, there's a place called Wild Wings Cafe,
I'm tracking.
and it is
Basically grew up there.
okay. So you're aware of the Wild Wings Cafe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe the viewers aren't, so you can keep going. But
Are you aware that the Wild Wings Cafe is a Browns fan base place?
oh, I was not aware
Yes.
that was the case though.
Like, I was there on a Sunday for football and wings. I had a very, very, very bad experience with Carolina Reaper sauce.
Oh, only you, Dave.
Oh, it was horrific. I couldn't even. I had to sleep with my contacts in because I was afraid to touch my eyes. But
Now I think about it, it's probably not only Dave.
only me, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, if we gave John the same stuff, he'd probably like actually melt.
You know what? I've never asked John if he's into spicy food. He doesn't remind me of a spicy food guy.
He's in the Air Force. I don't think he would be.
Did you just take a shot at our Air Force?
Yeah, I did, dude.
Just
in the
making
Army.
sure. No,
Cool.
just wanted to make sure. 4 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. You're watching the Racers Elite Next Gen Cup Series. Dave Regal and Sam Frazier with you on the call tonight in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. Want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Your wife now has questions about the Wild Wings Cafe. You're
We're not
welcome, sir.
going. Don't even think about it. Good luck.
Why?
I'm not driving all the way to Myrtle Beach just to have to drive all the way over to St. Louis to fly literally to the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
You just had to throw that one in there, the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
It was necessary. I needed to let the people know a little bit more context.
Fair enough. You're allowed. Brandon Honeycutt leads this piece right now by just less than a half second over Andrew Teft, who's cut that deficit by about a tenth since we last checked in on it. But Brandon Honeycutt, with 3 laps to go, is nearly competing now to remain one of the only 2 drivers to pick up wins this season. That's going to change the playoff format as we are here in the final week of the regular season. And as Honeycutt rolls out of turn number 4, he comes back to the start-finish line. The popsicle sticks go in the air. We're 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Andrew Teft, he's not playing around. He's actually chasing Honeycutt like crazy right now. It'd be crazy, Dave, if one of these cars here on track just like exploded.
Why do you want to see an explosion so bad? Are you in demolition?
No, I'm really nostalgic about Montoya 2012.
Apparently, by the way, you are going to the Wild Wings Cafe. As Brandon Honeycutt comes into turn number 4, he makes it out now. As he can see the start-finish line, Andrew Teft in tow. Brandon Honeycutt crosses the start-finish line. The white flag is in the air, and we're racing back to checkers.
As long as she doesn't make any mistake, Teft does not stand a chance to get him, pass him. He might catch him, but he's not going to pass him.
I don't think Teft's got it. I think even if as we look back here, I mean, I think you're
nothing
right.
against Teft. Yes, he's put on an amazing drive tonight, but right now, unless Honeycutt just like slams into the wall and goes sideways, he's not passing.
Brandon Honeycutt's hauling the mail here through turns 3 and 4 one final time. As he rolls out of turn number 4, we can see Barney the flagman up there in the stand. And Brandon Honeycutt remains one of the only 2 drivers to win here in the Racers Elite Next Gen Cup Series as he crosses the line. He's followed by Andrew Teft, Diego Rodriguez, Ed Yergin, Kirby Wainscott. That's your top 5. Kensley Smith, Dennis Kane, Shay Cox, Lee Campbell, and Aaron Marquis round out your top 10.
What a finish.
What a finish for Brandon Honeycutt, who earlier on in the race I had really counted him out, and I guess now I'm going to have to publicly apologize to him, as I didn't think he had it. It seemed like he was really fighting the car, and now all of a sudden was able to get through all of that traffic and wind up here in victory lane. Brandon Honeycutt, burn it down. You've earned it. Just kidding. Don't burn it down. Sit idly at the start-finish line.
a gentleman's celebration, getting out of the car, gently taking the helmet off and waving at
There
the
he
crowd.
goes. He heard us. You know what it is.
Doctor enough.
Trying to get a hold of our race leader, and I don't see him in the chat.
Hey, he's burning it down right now. Let him burn it down.
Andrew
Let him have
Teft,
his
we're going to
time.
move him
Let have
on
his
up
time.
here.
You take Teft. You take Teft.
There's Diego. Still looking for Honeycutt. Let's go 3, 2, 1 and give Honeycutt a little bit of time here. So, Sam, I believe that you have with you right now Diego Rodriguez down on pit road.
Oh,
Hey, Rodriguez, it's me and Alan up in the booth. You got us?
That's the second time you've done that.
What?
I'm not Alan.
All right, Dave. Oh, there's no way. Anyways, Diego, do you have us or no?
yeah, I do.
Yeah. Other than me getting out of the day mixed up somehow, let's talk about your race. Let's focus on drivers now. So yeah, you it kind of seems like you were all over the place at the start, and then you finally was able to fight your way up to the front and kind of hold like a top 5 pretty solid for the last like quarter of the race. So talk me through how that ended up happening.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was easy. During practice, I couldn't understand what I was doing wrong. Like I was, 3-4 tenths off of the faster guys, and watching what they were doing, for the first 20 laps, I kind of, tried to do what they did, and it started working, and it just started clicking, and I was able to run the bottom, quite a bit better than most people were, and I was, able to pull some sliders on them and get around them, and I tried to do some strategy there at the end with staying out under the cautions and then pitting under green and just taking right side tires so I could gain some track position and time on them, but I guess something must have not worked well because I ended up losing all the time that I gained. Just a few more laps, I would have gotten past for fourth by the 92, but I was just, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong all day, and now that the regular season's over and we're into the chase, I think I'm starting third in it.
Yeah, I noticed there was a lot of sliding in front of people, slide jobs for sure. Something else I want to ask, is your paint scheme number 20 Dominoes or 21 Dominoes or 20 Michigan?
It'd be a Michigan paint scheme.
So look who was right.
Something is wrong with my stuff because for like the longest time I kept saying 21 Dominoes for you, and Dave was like, "No, that's number
The Domino's
20
paint is for us
Michigan."
and then next year.
So is
I
it
see.
so well now what about TNN now? Are we gonna maintain a Howdy Dave Regal, or because Spirit's in bankruptcy court are we changing that?
I'll have to talk to Tane about that.
Yeah, I'll be talking to Tane, don't you worry.
All right.
All right, buddy, listen, congratulations on the P3 finish. We will see you next week as we start the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you.
And second up here, as we see finishing second on the podium, is going to be Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here in the Racers Elite Series, Andrew Teft out of Hope Valley, Rhode Island. Hey, Andrew, it's Dave. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Buddy, listen, a P2 finish to Brandon Honeycutt after, he and John Ross have been the only two winners this regular season has to be at least a pretty good feather in your cap.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of passing tonight. I didn't qualify very well, and then I got caught up in that one accident. So, but yeah, there's a few things that shook up the race, and I guess Honeycutt had a couple lap fresher tires than me, or maybe just one lap, and it was like just enough to stay away from me even with the draft there. So, but yeah, congrats to him and good run overall.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think, first of all, I've said it almost every week. When I looked and saw that we were going to be here at Auto Club, I thought this is going to be a great race. You've managed to keep these races so clean. And, I mean, we've done a lot of, green flag to checkered flag, no cautions in this series. How do you explain the level of driving and the class of driving that you have on the racetrack and the product that you put out every week?
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between drivers. We race with each other so much, multiple days per week, that I don't know, we know each other's habits, and just it's a league where you can give and count on being able to take again later. You know, some places you might worry about giving too much. You can count on others to give that back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always thrilled when I get to slide into the booth on a Thursday, and it's just like a breath of fresh air when I see what you put on the racetrack and what these guys do week in and week out. So, listen, man, congrats on the P2 finish. I guess we're not going to get a chance to talk to Brandon tonight. So, does he not have? And just out of curiosity, does he not have Discord?
He does. Let me see if I can find him.
I've never gotten a chance to interview him. He's never in for his interviews.
Yeah, I don't see him either. So might be out of luck.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, congrats on the P2 finish. We'll see you next week as we get ready for the playoffs.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Well, folks, another one in the books here in the Racers Elite Next Gen Cup Series as Andrew Teft wraps it up for us here for the interviews. And I'll tell you what, Sam, for your first race back, you were spot on perfect.
No, yeah, you know, I kind of never lose this skill. It's one of those skills you just don't lose. You get rusty, but you just don't lose it, you know. Especially when you're commentating with somebody like you. You have a lot of experience, so it makes it, one, more fun, and two, just really easy to be able to kind of flow. You know, I feel like your chemistry is good with anybody. Not Dana. Yeah, that's that.
Well, listen, man, it's always a pleasure when we get to work together, but let's take one final look at our race results tonight and get out of here as Brandon Honeycutt brings home the checkered flag. He's followed on the podium by Andrew Teft and Diego Rodriguez. Finishing in fourth is Ed Jurgen, and rounding out your top five is Kirby Wainscott. Kensley Smith, Dennis Kane, Shay Cox, Lee Campbell, and Aaron Marquis make up the rest of your top 10, while Leroy Koblenz comes home in 11th. 12th goes to Bill Skinner, while Troy Thomas and Rob Yost come home in 13th and 14th. Eric Dodd finishes in 15th, while John Ross, who is the other only winner in the regular season this season so far, finishes 16th, with Truth Hoke, Alex Teft, Alan Bergen, and Curtis Ecker. They make up the drivers that took the green flag, and Curtis Ecker looks like he finished, about 20 laps down. That's not really great for him, but totally understandable. We totally get it, and, unfortunately, somebody's got to do it, and tonight it was Curtis Ecker. So for myself, Dave Regal, alongside the great Sam Frazier making his return to the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast Booth, we want to thank all of you for welcoming us into your homes, onto your phones, and wherever you may be and however you may be listening. And tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.